The wedding festivities have arrived. Ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode with ManaMan. Today, we got a juicer for you. We got the wedding reception. That is right. What we got here, we kind of have this wedding formulated around the wedding announcement, but we got the super friends. We got a bunch of different planeswalkers here. Let's go ahead and start off with the theme of the deck. We got the wedding announcement. At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter. If you attack with 2 or more creatures, you this turn, you draw a card. Otherwise, just create a 1/1 human creature token. They're invited to the wedding. Then, if a wedding announcement has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it. So then, the wedding festivities, the lovely wedding festivities, creatures you control get 1/1. This card is going to allow you to get a lot of different types of value. Obviously, you either can draw a card, you can make it 1/1, and then eventually, we get into the wedding festivities, everything gets buffed up. This is the wedding reception, so hopefully the wedding announcement is good and everything, but then we have the wedding and we have the wedding festivities into the wedding reception. This is what we're trying to get into. We're trying to get into the wedding festivities and bump up all of our creatures. So, what's a wedding without the Charmed Groom? We got Edgar, the Charmed Groom. Look how handsome, All the vampires you control get 1/1. That's pretty cool and everything, but mostly it's going to just be a 4/4 recurring creature. Whenever it dies, you can return to the battlefield under its owner's control. And at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white and black vampire creature token with lifelink, and then after 3 turns, it comes back into Edgar. So whenever it dies, it's still going to come back. I love Edgar. It absolutely just does work against aggro because it creates a body and then it keeps coming back and it churns out 1/1 white and black vampire creature tokens with lifelink. The Charmed Groom is just so great, and hopefully I see him at the reception. So obviously we are running creatures. We're running a planeswalker kind of Shelly type here at the back end. We do have a Lolth Spider Queen because, hey, we're churning out creature tokens, and the wedding announcement is going to buff up all of our creatures, all of our little weenies here. Lolth is just a great card. It's going to make the cut, obviously. So Lolth is going to be one of our dearly beloved guests to the wedding. Next, we got Wrenn and Seven. Obviously, Wrenn and Seven is going to do the same thing. It's just a pretty good card. Hey, not much to say about it. You can create a green Treefolk creature token. And what's nice about all these different creature tokens is that we are running Esika's Chariot. Obviously, Esika's Chariot is wonderful, and this is standard, not alchemy. So we get crew 4, and we get 2 green cat creature tokens. And we're going to be able to duplicate any of these creature tokens. So Sorin the Mirthless creates some tokens. You're going to be able to duplicate it. Lolth, you can duplicate a spider token. Wrenn and Seven, you can duplicate the Treefolk token. It's so good. Esika's Chariot is an absolute must in this deck. You're going to be able to churn out a bunch of different types of things, a bunch of different scenarios. Last but not least, with the Planeswalkers, we got Sorin the Mirthless. And hey, this is the wedding reception. Sorin's not too happy about the wedding, but that's all right. He's still invited anyway. This is going to be awesome. I love the alternate art, by the way. But look at the top card of your library. You can draw a card. You can make a 2/3 vampire token with lifelink. That's going to be very handy versus aggro. And then the -7 obviously doesn't come up a ton in the specific deck, but deal 13 damage to any target, you gain 13 life. Pretty awesome. Sorin makes the cut. Welcome aboard. Early game, hey, nothing surprising here. We got Eyetwitch, Shambling Ghast, Deadly Dispute. You already know. It's just a classic combination. Eyetwitch, Shambling Ghast, Deadly Dispute. That's going to be a 12 cards because you're running 4 each. It's just going to be the standard in most decks. It is what it is, but it's just such a good start. You have to run it. Rite of Oblivion, we're actually only running 2. I think Vanishing Verse comes up a little bit more. I think Rite of Oblivion still is pretty awesome. You're going to be able to just sacrifice a non-land permanent and exile a target non-land permanent. It does take care of what Vanishing Verse can't, but it is a sorcery rather than an instant. And also has flashback, so you actually get to use it twice. That's pretty awesome. And obviously Meathook Massacre, we're running Meathook Massacre because it's just a freaking good card. Let's just get real. So this is the deck. Nothing too crazy. We have a lot of different lands here. This is actually one of my longest vertically lands, but this is what it is. Don't like to ever spend too much time on the land because most of it's pretty self-explanatory. I actually are running 2 Agadeem's Awakening just to get a little bit of extra value back from these Eyetwitches and whatnot. I guess it's, and you can get an Edgar a little bit late, so I guess we are running 2 Agadeem's Awakening, but it's not that important. But this is the deck. Hopefully we got the wedding announcement. Let's get into the wedding festivities with the wedding reception. Let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Karn with a C. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Hey, you are an imposter. We're gonna say hello to you anyway, but to be friendly. But you are an imposter, I tell you. Wow-wee. So let's go ahead and drop the Agadeem's Undercrypt here. yeah, I mean, we still have 2 weddings, and I like weddings. They're fun. They're usually festive before they get divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the pre-misery. You know, you just gotta wallow in the happiness. So let's go in. Wedding announcement. Wedding announcement. Hope you're all invited, and we don't get Jawari's ruin, so that's really nice here. They actually, yesterday, I made a tweet about it on my Twitter. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter, by the way. But I made a tweet on my Twitter about this beautiful, beautiful sleeve collection here. I mean, I was so happy. I didn't get into these sleeves when they first came out. I mean, I probably was a little bit late to the party. So anytime you can grab sleeves from the store in the daily deals, I absolutely make sure we do that. So this is a little bit dicey here. We could go for Deadly Dispute to get into it, because we're going to miss a land drop here. But I don't want to get countered. Getting countered is pretty brutal if we use Deadly Dispute. So I guess we're just going to go for another wedding announcement. So 2 wedding announcements. Gotta make sure everyone's invited, you know what I mean? Because they might have missed the first wedding announcement. So we're going to create 2 more 1/1s here. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I guess they're going to go for Faithful Mending. Hindsight's always 20/20. I guess probably should have used the dispute, maybe. I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know. I guess I'm just really nervous. So now there's no divide by 0. I mean, blue's actually running counter spells again, so that had me a little bit nervous. The Sparring Regiment is actually not the most threatening thing in the world. Yeah, they're gonna be able to learn, but they don't have any creatures or anything, so that's actually really cool. Now this is really unfortunate. We don't have enough for Esika's Chariot, but let's see what we can do here. I'm going to swing in here. At this point, I think it's better just to do damage and get this wedding announcements to draw cards. So what we can do is go for Deadly Dispute. No, that's just not going to be good enough. So I'm just going to drop this and go for Edgar, the Charmed Groom. How charming. How charming. So Edgar, the Charmed Groom. Hopefully we can get into a green source here, and we do not. That's pretty brutal. What's not pretty brutal is getting a 5/5 and 3 2/2s. So this go for Immorith. That is going to be a lot better than anything else. I don't know what is going on here. That is some gorgeous animation, by the way. But I don't know what is going on here. It's just so brutal. We cannot get into anything. So no green sources for us. Wow, wait, that's pretty rough. We can swing in with the Edgar and go for a Deadly Dispute. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to swing all here. They're more control-y deck, so we want to press the issue here. Don't think that they're going to, yeah, they're actually just going to let all of this go. That's actually pretty wild. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do all the damage we can. Take them down to a whopping 9. We can go for Shambling Ghast, Deadly Dispute. This Sparring Regiment's going to get a little bit annoying. What I want to do is, before this goes on the stack, they can untap it. But I'm going to save it for the Vanishing Verse. So let's go for the Shambling Ghast here. They are tapped out, so I'm going to go for Deadly Dispute and hopefully get into a land source here. So, yep. Shambling Ghast and create a treasure token. And we finally do get into a green source. This is going to be really nice. Drop into our green source here, and we get into our Vanishing Verse as soon as this thing untaps, because right now it has Ward. So, yep, pretty good here. Draw a card, and the Wedding Festivities. 2 Wedding Festivities with Edgar. The Charmed Groom, and look, he's living his best life. You got the Charmed Groom, you got the Wedding Festivities. This is a good time. So, okay, now this comes down to this. Let's go straight for our Vanishing Verse. Let's attempt. Now that this is untapped, it does not have Ward. So before the Sparring Regiment gets to untap Immorith, we're going to go for the Vanishing Verse. Now, obviously, they might, yeah, so, okay, they are going to see it coming. Not the best thing ever for us, but at least we blow through one of their counter spells. So this is going to hurt. Definitely going to hurt. We're going to take 6 damage, and they're going to draw, what? They're going to draw 1 card, right? Yeah, I don't have fewer than 3 cards, so they're just going to draw 1 card. You never like to see them draw cards, but, you know, it is what it is. And they take a Foretell. That's a little bit scary here. Okay. Well, I mean, we are threatening with lethal right now. I mean, they still can't block everything, and if they were to block our Edgar, we get the Edgar back in due time. So, I think right this second, we're just going to swing in, right? I mean, unless they've got, like, a Fading Hope or something. I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and just swing in here. They're going to have to at least chump block this thing, right? So, they got Fading Hope. Okay. That is unfortunate. Trying to think what we want to do here. Do we just want to Deadly Dispute the Edgar instead of recast it? Yeah, I think this is kind of hard. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to Deadly Dispute this because I don't want to have to respend the mana here. And we get a 1-1, which would be a 3-3 with both Wedding Festivities every single turn. So I actually think that's the best move. They're still going to take 6 damage here. Yeah, Immorth will obviously take one of our precious little tokens here. And do I want to do another Deadly Dispute? This actually gets interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually don't want to do that. And I will show you why. Because I'm going to drop... Oh, So I guess I got a little bit carried away here. We can drop this and go for Wrenn and Seven? And then a Shambling Ghast. So I guess we're just gonna go wide here. I don't think that they're running like a Doomscar. I don't think Doomscar really benefits their deck that much.
The entire forest is an army.
The entire forest is an army. You said it. So we got an 8-8 with Reach, so they don't really want to attack with this Immorth. I mean, obviously they can get removal, but I don't think that they're running like Doomscar or anything. I don't think Doomscar really helps out their deck that much. And because we sacrifice our Edgar into the coffin, it seems okay. So they do get rid of our creature there. That's a little bit unfortunate. But, you know, hey, they still take a scry on the bottom, so that seems good. Immorth Desert Doom, unfortunately, will still remain untapped. So Wrenn and Seven goes bye-bye.
I have other groves to tend.
So, you know, hey, Wrenn and Seven leaves the party early. They leave the wedding early. The wedding festivities just began, but, you know, hey, I understand. Everyone's busy. Wrenn and Seven's got other things to do. TCs with the Archaics, that's actually pretty good for us. So, that's pretty good. So they're actually going to go with Doomscar. They're going to kill their beloved... Wow, they're actually going to kill their Immorth, so I stand corrected. Okay, so this is Summoning 6, so obviously we can't do anything just yet. But I'm going to go for your Chariot. The Chariot arrived! Your Chariot has arrived. And we've got the Chariot, we've got the wedding festivities. This is, I mean, overall this has been a pretty successful wedding, I'd say. So at this point, what do I want to do here? I kind of want to go for Rite of Oblivion. No, I don't think I'm not that threatened by the sparring regimen at this point. So I think I'm just going to go for Shambling Ghast, and then we'll be able to Deadly Dispute if they want to get cute here. Yeah, we'll just end the turn. We're going to have a lot of consistent pressure here. I'm not really sure what they can do. They could even drop like a Memory Deluge. That's not going to be it, man. They can even get into like a Kraken here. I just don't think it'd be enough. We're too wide. We've got too much pressure applied. And that's it. The wedding takes the cake. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more Magic deck videos every single day. Savage, how we doing here? I like, hey, we're gonna give you a friendly hello there. I love the name. It took me a second to decode all the letters, but you know, I'm getting older now. The old eyesight's getting a little fuzzier. So alrighty, we got Champion of the Alms. Okie dokie. Well, I don't see a green source, so we'll go ahead and play down the Shambling Ghast. Hopefully we can get into Esika's Chariot in due time. So Champion of the Alms, a lot of these, oh, okay, so Portable Hold, that actually hurts our Shambling Ghast quite a lot. I don't see a whole lot of Champion of the Alms nowadays, so this is just going to be like classic, I guess you'd just call it classic old mono white aggro. So we get to go into a double Eyetwitch here, pretty good move here. And of course, we get 2 wedding announcements. I don't know if you knew if there was a wedding here or not, but we actually are going to announce it 2 times here. Make sure you get into the wedding festivities. We don't want you to miss it. So we got 2, double the trouble here, and they're gonna swing in with both of these. This is kind of weird. Yeah, I think we're gonna take this, right? I mean, the Hopeful Initiate. Let's go ahead and kill this before they can get it going. If they want to bump it with something, I mean, they're already running Champion of the Alms, which I consider to be slightly weird, different than traditional mono white. So they're just gonna go for Computer Takedown. That's fine. So we are going to just take a chump block here. And what we want to do, they don't really have any sort of, I'm going to go for Pest Summoning and then Containment Breach. I think that's probably the best. We could also use Environmental Sciences eventually. I guess we're going to go for a Containment Breach and then to get rid of this Portable Hole, I guess. Maybe they got something else. They are running up another Portable Hole. And we'll go for Environmental Sciences, obviously, to get into our green sources. And we're definitely going to need to get into our green sources. We're definitely going to go for a wedding announcement for now. I think that double wedding announcements are going to be pretty good here. At least get up some defenses. The Hopeful Initiative absolutely cannot go and train just yet, so the training wheels are not on. So okay, so Portable Hole, not good, but they got 2 Portable Holes. These are really annoying. Sun Gold Sentinel, okay, so they're almost out of their hand, So as long as we can survive this little bit onslaught here, we're going to take 2 damage here, but this isn't that big of a deal. Taking 2 damage here isn't the end of the world. What is kind of the end of the world is not getting into any more land. That really sucks. So at this point, I think I just want to drop down another wedding announcement rather than go for environmental sciences. Not great, but I think I'm going to do this. This way we're going to be able to get 2 per turn. 2 tokens per turn, which gives us a nice set of defense here, and then we can hopefully get into some more land, environmental sciences. Alright, so Sun Ghost Sentinel is going to attack. This is going to get training. I think just because we're playing defense, what we're going to want to do, and they're going to go ahead and give this hexproof. Can't be blocked by these colors either, so what I want to do is maybe double block the Champion of the Alms. We can at least get this out of here. It does have flashback. So, does have disturb, not flashback, but it just costs 4. It does come back as a 1. I don't know if this is worth it or not. Do they have another land source? I think we're just gonna take. We're gonna stay put. We're gonna stay put. The wedding announcement will also allow us eventually to get into 1/1, so that's also good. Oh, we have a Meathook Massacre. Unfortunately, we're still a little bit too short on land sources. Very, very unfortunate. So let's go in for our environmental sciences, grab our forest. And this is all we can do, and that is extremely weak. Very unfortunate. We can actually, if we swing with both, we can actually draw cards instead of make blockers, but it's tempting, but we're going to end up not doing that. Let's just go ahead and set up our defenses. So now we have 4 2/2s, and that's pretty gosh darn good, actually. Cave of the Frost Dragon comes out. And we have a pretty good wall of defense here. Hopefully they don't have anything else. Okay, so the Sentinel is going to set up for... Yep, okay. But you know what? Hey, we got the wedding festivities up. The wedding festivities have arrived. And they're going to remove that. Not a big deal. I guess we'll just go double block here. I guess we're just blocking everything here. I don't know if they've got like a buff spell. I don't know. We're just being overly cautious. There's not much downside in doing this. Definitely make sure we kill this thing. The hopeful initiative can obviously kill our wedding festivities as well, so I don't want that to happen. And now this gets into sticky situation, because if we make... we can Meathook Massacre here, but I don't think we really want to do that, right? They can also make this unblockable, which is getting progressively more annoying, so I think we're just going to go into our Chariot here and create some green tokens. Let's go ahead and create the greens. Those are 3/3 kitty cats. And this is going to be tapped. Yeah, I think that's fine. I am actually... No, I don't think there's any reason to get aggressive here. So now we've got a huge board. The wedding has arrived. Wedding festivities. I don't know who got married. I think there's like some vampire stuff going on. I don't know. But we do have the wedding festivities up. And if they can't get past this massive wall... Ooh, Protector's Shield. Okay, so that's actually not the end of the world. I mean, they still really can't get through. Yeah, they can't get through, so this is really good, actually. We do get into another green source. That is going to be very, very good at this point. So, I mean, we can just drop Wrenn and Seven. There's a bunch of different stuff we can do. I think what we're going to do is just drop Wrenn and Seven. Hello, Wrenn. Create our token here. And they know that the festivities, they are not invited to the wedding. Peter Schoen. I believe I've played with you before. Hello, Peter Schoen. I'm actually... Ooh, this is kind of yucky. We don't have any white for the wedding announcement, so I think I'm actually going to lean towards a mulligan here. And this is actually... Oh, God, this is not good. This is not good. We have nothing really to play for a long time. I guess we're just going to have to gamble. We're just going to have to gamble. I'm going to put away this. We got enough green and white. Yeah, our mana's fine, but we just have nothing to play. We got nothing to sacrifice with the Rite of Ruin either, so... Oh, God, we are just not looking good here. This is going to be gross. I don't want to ever take 2 mulligans if we have enough land, so... I know it's not great. So we actually do end up getting into our Shambling Ghast, which is very nice here. The Rite of Oblivion is not looking good because they don't have any sacrifice or permanents to target, really, because they're playing control. So... Sitting here kind of in La La Land. Oh, they actually go for wedding announcement, so that is actually really, really good. We got Sorin. Oh my gosh, this is actually... Probably the best thing that could have happened here. So without, yeah, let's go ahead and just use Rite of Oblivion. I don't even want to risk this. Let's go ahead and get rid of this gosh darn thing. Shambling Ghast, we're definitely going to be creating a treasure token. Yeah, that's fine. I think we can save, we can actually go for what? At this point, we have to commit to 2 black or 2 green for the Wrenn and Seven. So I guess we'll go with black. Go with black. Black is fine here. Hopefully we get into another land and then we don't have to sweat using the different treasure token. But as you go for Monk class and Paladin class, this is actually really interesting. So this is not at all what I thought this would be. So the second spell you cast costs 1 less to cast each turn. So Monk class is actually pretty gosh darn interesting. I can't even lie about it. I think at this point we're going to go with Sorin. Sorin lets us draw cards. I know that Chariot seems good, but I don't know if we can be able to drop the Chariot.
I take no joy in the slaughter, but it's necessary work.
It is necessary work, Sorin. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to be taking joy in the slaughter.
You fight for me now.
Always have, Sorin. We always fight for you. So we have the Esika's Chariot. Usually, oh gosh, that's not good. The borrow time is going to take away our Sorin. I'm wondering...
Things have not gone my way.
No, things have definitely not gone our way. So now I'm sitting here wondering what we want to do here. We can always just go for the Vanishing Verse, so no big deal there. I think we are. Vanishing Verse into the borrowed time. We get our beloved Sorin back. Things are going our way, Sorin. You got too antsy.
Under my watch, neither vampire nor human will go extinct.
Okay, and we get a Shattered Sanctum. That is going to be very good. We need to land here, so I definitely wanted to use that for the 5 cost.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
I would say it's a pretty fair trade. So we go ahead and swing in 21-18. I think that this is a Hallowed Haunting deck because of all the enchantments that they're running. And I can't lie, I actually kind of love it. I kind of love the theme here. It's probably a little bit underwhelming, which is kind of underwhelming to me right now. But I mean, I can't even remember. Did we go first? I don't even remember. I always have a terrible habit of not remembering if I dropped lands or if we went first. So Monk class are going to put Sorin back into our hand, but we actually did get into our 4th land drop, so not the end of the world. They want to swing in with their human. Do I want to get a Containment Breach? Like, is it even worth it? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we want to get into our Containment Breach. I mean, if they're going to be sinking mana into this Monk class, I definitely would be interested in sinking into it. So at this point, because we already have a Sorin out, I think I'm going to go into a Chariot and then go with the Sorin possibly. And then if we get another land source, another green source, we can actually duplicate the Wrenn and Seven's creature token. So that's actually, I think, the maximum we can do here. So we'll do that. The Monk class, if they want to go into level 3, I don't think it can do a whole lot right away. So borrow time, again, borrow time is just not that big of a deal. Yeah, I mean, we get rid of our Chariot, which is not great. The Paladin class hasn't been doing much. Oh, and they actually go for Circle of Confinement because Monk class is cheaper now. That's actually pretty cool. However, the Eye Tyrant is going to come in tapped, unfortunately, because we've got more than 2 lands. But I'm not too worried about that. We can go. So now what do we want to do? We can go for another Esika's Chariot. Eventually, we are going to get rid of this Monk's class with the Containment Breach. But as of right now, I think we can just make more kitty cats. Like, we've got pressure on the board. And I think at the end of the day, like, I'm so worried about making the Containment Breach on this Monk class that at the end of the day, we still have... Okay, so I was correct. I was correct about the Hallowed Haunting. This deck just screamed Hollow Haunting, and that's exactly what they're going to do. At this point, I think it's going to be better to get rid of the Hallowed Haunting than the Monk class, just because, I mean, they've got a lot of stuff going on here. The Hallowed Haunting is obviously their win condition, so yeah, I think we're going to just take the Containment Breach on the Hallowed Haunting, and then we could also use Rite of Oblivion on something else. So without further ado, I think I'm just going to use this, get rid of the Hallowed Haunting. We don't get the Pest token because it does have a lot, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's go ahead and use Esika's Chariot, tap these little kitty cats, and now we can actually get rid of one of these. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go ahead and pop a kitty cat for the Monk class. The Monk class, I would rather just get rid of the Monk class before it gets to do anything, exile and everything, all that nonsense. And we swing in, make a free kitty cat, and now they're just sitting here with this one little Spirit Cleric. They just take a chump block, and you see that as long as we can get rid of the Hallowed Haunting, they're not going to be able to storm the battlefield. Oh, and they have another one. Okay, and another Paladin class. That's actually, I mean, that actually puts them in the game. I mean, it was looking like darn near impossible to recover. That actually does put them back into the game a little bit, but it's still not going to be enough, I don't believe. We're going to be able to use another Rite of Ruin. I just want to get rid of the Hallowed Haunting, and they know that the Rite of Ruin is going to take away their last Hallowed Haunting. Froxen, how we doing, Froxy lady? How are we doing here? Let's go ahead and keep this. We got 2 Shambling Ghast into a wedding announcement. Kind of low on land, but I think we'll find a way. Oh, I saw a mulligan there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just a single mulligan. So, okay, let's go and drop our Shambling Ghast. They're playing red, so hopefully we can get this Shambling Ghast popped and then get into a treasure token. Because I'm starting to get a little bit nervous here. Okay, we got Agadeem's Awakening. We don't have any white, though. That is going to be the core issue here. So I guess we'll just drop the Shambling Ghast. Might as well. And I'm going to tap in this Agadeem's Awakening. A little bit disappointed here. So they go with Jawari's Disruption. Okay, well, I was actually, whether or not we did that, I was going to play that for that anyway. I guess I should have been more aware of Jawari's Disruption. Either way, it is what it is. Like, we got rid of a Jawari's Disruption. We don't want the Jawari's Disruption to come on our Sorin. So I guess it's, you know, not that bad. I'm going to drop this for green. There's nothing we can do. Unfortunately, we're going to miss the wedding. So the wedding announcement doesn't come out, and I just fear that no one's going to come to the wedding now. That's really sad. Alright, so I'm going to swing in with the Shambling Ghast here. We're going to look to get into our Sorin. I have a pretty good chance that it's going to get countered, but at least we drew into one disruption. So we burnt through one of these disruption. Disdainful Stroke, yeah. I mean, we can't really expect a blue deck with 4 cards and 4 untapped mana lands to not counter us. That's what they do. I have to admit, it does feel pretty good to see blue running counters again. You know what I mean? Since that pesky Divide by Zero's gone back, you know, I welcome the counters. So we can go for Lolth or we can go for Wedding Announcement. I think they're a little bit apprehensive on the Jawari's Disruption, so I'm going to go for Wedding Announcement. I think Wedding Announcement applies enough pressure, and it actually gets through. So now I'm thinking, like, should we have went Lolth? I know hindsight's always 20/20, but... So Behold the Multiverse, okay. The key thing here is I'm always worried about the Kraken. This seems like just traditional control. This isn't obviously like mill or anything. So I'm always a little bit worried about the Kraken coming out, but they need 2 turns, or 2 more lands, rather, for the Kraken. So Expressive Iteration comes out, assuming they're going to dig for a land, and they do, because this Jawari Disruption can come out as a land. So now I'm a little bit nervous. Here. We're gonna go for Lolth Spider Queen. If they counter it, we are in deep doo-doo. Especially if they can get into a Kraken. So Lolth does come out, free of charge. We're going to go -3 right away.
Envy the strong, for they consume the weak.
They do consume the weak. Hopefully we can get some consuming of the weak here.
Cull the weak.
Alrighty. So, I mean, okay, we're still living on a prayer here because I'm still very nervous that we're going to get into a Hullbreaker Horror or something. Because we did swing with 2, the Wedding Announcement lets us draw 2 cards, or 1 card rather. Demon Bolt, actually that's not that big a deal.
I return to the abyss.
So that's actually not the end of the world. Okay, so Expressive Iteration, as long as we don't get into a Hullbreaker Horror, I'm not too worried about it. I'm still wondering, I mean, I'm always looking back at hindsight, was dropping the Lolth before the Wedding Announcement the better move? I truly don't know. We got yet another. I love Wedding Announcements. We can't even go into Wrenn and Seven even if we wanted, so don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we're gonna go for a Wedding Announcement here. Why not? That's been pretty much the key to this whole thing. So Wedding Announcements, okie dokie. Well, let's go ahead and swing in here. And the Wedding Announcement, because we attack with all these creatures, Wedding Announcement is going to let us draw a lot of cards. So Fading Hope, we're gonna go ahead and make sure. Yep. It's gonna die because tokens don't go back to your hand. So we're gonna use Deadly Dispute. Hopefully get some value here. If they want to counter it, that's fine. So they no counters for us. And so we got a treasure token, which is gonna be nice for the Wrenn and Seven. And yeah, we're just gonna play this down for white. A little bit short on the old white sources here. End turn, Wedding Announcements will allow us to draw cards because we attack with enough creatures. And one of our Wedding Announcements is gonna go into Wedding Festivities. So all of our creatures are going to get +1/+1 here. Here's where I'm getting nervous. Because at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm nervous that the Hullbreaker Horror is going to come out. But we still have enough to deal with it. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm going to drop this for green because we're a little bit low on green. I know we've got a treasure token, but still better to do that. So if we go for Hive of the Eye Tyrant, we can, yeah, I think we want to be aggressive here. If we go for Hive of the Eye Tyrant, we get an extra attacker, and then the Rite of Oblivion can still deal with the Hullbreaker Horror. So yeah, this is definitely going to be the move here. So let's go ahead and, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So just click a card, does not matter. We are challenging for lethal here, but yes, here is the almighty Hullbreaker Horror. So let's see what they want to do here. They can't use the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, so they're going to be able to just chump block this. If we go for a Deadly Dispute, we will have enough for the Rite of Oblivion. So let's go ahead and use Deadly Dispute on our little creature here. We like to be nice to all the guests, but you know, hey, that guest, you are expendable. I'm so sorry. So now we can go for Rite of Oblivion, and I think this is kind of a weird move, but they can't protect it because they are tapped out, so they can't put Rite of Oblivion back on the stack. I'm going to sacrifice, this seems a little bit weird. I think I actually want to sacrifice definitely not a creature. So I'm actually going to go with, this seems weird. I think I'm going to actually choose the Wedding Festivities that bump us up. I don't think they have any way to gain, like, I think that's more important, is to draw a card and keep tempo rather than get another power up, because, like, we still have Hive of the Eye Tyrant. So I think the +1/+1, it seems weird to get rid of the Wedding Festivities, but I think in this situation that is actually the best move. So Galvanic Iteration, oh gosh, what do they even got going on here? Don't tell me you've got like oh, Unexpected Windfall. So this is actually kind of nerve-wracking. They're gonna draw 4 cards and make what? So they're gonna, okay, they draw 4 cards, 4 treasures, and one thing here. We still have a Hive of the Eye, and they take it. Oh my gosh, yes, we take it. So we're back at the hideout with the post-game rep, and overall, I just gotta say, this deck definitely performed very well, maybe even a little bit better than I thought. I think we probably ran a little bit hot. We went first on a lot of games, but overall, I mean, this deck definitely does a lot of work. I mean, they do so many different things, and they have so much value that it's just kind of absurd. You just kind of just make up too much value, and as long as you can like withstand control. And I think the weakest matchup, because I like to be constructive about every single deck I make, I think the worst matchup is probably some sort of aggro, because if they're running multiple colored things and you have Vanishing Verse, it just gets a little bit steamrolly. I mean, again, you know, hey, I'm just being nitpicky here. Most decks are going to be able to get steamrolled by aggro. So if you have a Meathook Massacre is like the board white, but if you're going against like mono white or something, a lot of times they get too tall, and Meathook Massacre doesn't deal with tall creatures too much. So if they're sitting on like a Luminarch Aspirant and you don't have a Vanishing Verse, that's probably the worst thing. But other than that, I mean, hey, it is what it is. If you're going to make best 2 out of 3, I would definitely recommend just going 4 Duress in the sideboard, because there's a lot of control decks that kind of, you know, take work of it. But I don't know, overall, I think this deck is pretty gosh darn good. This is what it is. I had a blast making it. I'm so glad. I had a blast at the wedding reception, had a few drinks, got a little tipsy. It is what it is. Go ahead and leave me a like. The button looks just like this. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do whatever you gotta do. Just tell me how ugly I am in the comments. Just do something, because I'm trying to make this bad boy channel out into the biggest it can be. But until the next time, I will see you on the next episode. ManaMan, out.